day I'm hustling, 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 hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy,
hustling,
Ski.
hustling, 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 every
Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just in the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today, we got ourselves a banger daily market news and analysis. Let me know how everyone is feeling out of 10. What is up? What is up? What is up? Make sure you guys are spamming the like button so other people, and hitting that share so other people can spam that like button. Remy says, hey, the day just got better. 7 out of 10. Mike, thank you for the lightning bolt, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
I appreciate you, fam. And today is yet another scary day right at the full moon. Can you believe it? Tomorrow's the full moon, and yet again, it seems like we're going to get our local bottom in cryptocurrency in the next few days. As Bitcoin is yet again at 65,000, which it's been flirting with, poking to / flirting with for the better part. This is day number, what is this? How many days is this? Day number 10 of candles, where it is poked to 65, or the body is on 65,000 for 10 straight days. AZG says summer Solnic over summer solstice. That's facts. Actual factual. So right now we're still in the midst of our range. Bitcoin is still in the range that it's been for the better part of forever now. And the 200 moving average is now at 57,000. I don't see a scenario where we get below that. I do see a scenario where we could fill this out into the 61, 62, 63 range. But to be honest, especially knowing what today is, what tomorrow is, I think you're perhaps being a little bit greedy with entry points. Definitely some good entry points out here in the market, especially at the stage of the game, which we are. So that is, we got to keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, it's the same. It's scarier and scarier every day. Let me know, out of 10, what is your feeling on the market today? What is the feeling on the market out of 10 today? The fear and greed is at 52, which yesterday it was at 55, I believe. Well, that's actually not true because I wasn't live yesterday. That's not true because I wasn't live yesterday. What up, Ski? How many more down days? Hold on. Let me move my chat around here. It says, what up, Ski? How many more down days? Heard we might go to 60K, maybe even 59. I have some money drop like now. Yeah, again, like I wouldn't be greedy with your entry points. I would not be greedy with your entry points. I would DCA as always, and if you have a big chunk, you could DCA that in. Right now we're looking at Bitcoin, but we can look at whatever you guys want to look at. Yeah, just DCA that in as well. But I don't think that we're going to get too much lower than 63. If we do, it's a gift, especially the day like tomorrow is the full moon. Tomorrow is the full moon. And, not on some woo-woo stuff, but just every single full moon tends to be the local bottom. Almost without fail. So we're definitely in that window. And we're going to be here for about another week or so. Shiba, any thoughts? Shiba's okay. I actually like the chart on Shiba. Now, it is a large coin. Like, it's a top 10 coin. So this idea that Shiba is going to, 1000x, 100x from here. It's not, but it has a good chart. I think it could definitely 10x from here. Turbo price prediction, please. The last I remember, Turbo was working on the markdown. The last that I remember. Up 19% on the day. Any thoughts on LimeWire? I don't have any thoughts on LimeWire, but we can look at the chart. Okay, yeah, so this could be... This was... Okay, so I outlined this. The last time we talked about this, I outlined the two scenarios. It's hard to tell at this very moment. This is either A and this... Okay, by the way, okay, let me take a step back. Still... The two scenarios that I see for Turbo is one, accumulating here, which at this stage would look like this. Right? Accumulation like so. That is scenario number one. And then scenario number two is this is sort of still the markdown phase. And this is pretty common that you see a little move to the upside before rolling back over and accumulating. That would be scenario number two. There is a pretty big gap here. So yeah, but minimum, I think that we are going to accumulate around 0.003 cents for Turbo. And then that would mean that the next leg higher for Turbo is going to be around 1.9 cents. Solnick TA added 600 Solnick to the dips today. Let's go, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely got a really good price today. Do you think any memes are going to end up taking all the liquidity in the bull market? Not all the liquidity. Because again, like, it doesn't even matter the chain with crypto. Even Ethereum, which is like relatively slow. Like what tends to happen is like there is new money that enters into the space, but a lot of it is sort of sloshing around of people just chasing green candles, etc. So that's what's going to happen. So no, I don't think any one coin is going to just steal everything, especially not a meme coin. 4 more days and I will buy 1 million Solnick again. Let's go. Hey brother, so what do you think Bitcoin's move for the next 2 weeks? We going back to 60? 60 is in the cards. I will say like 60 is in the cards. But tomorrow's the full moon. I anticipate this sort of bloody energy to shift in the next week or so. And we're going to try to make another leg higher. Do you just trade crypto? No, I have a business as well, but yeah, like, and mostly what I trade is not just trading. It's more swing trading. I don't do a ton of leverage trading or like hour by hour trades. I'm exponentially better at viewing the market as a whole rather than what's going to happen the next 15 minutes. Ondo chart, I got you, fam. Exponentially, I rebuke 60K. Bitcoin. I think he's asking if you would trade stocks too. No, I don't. Because like, I don't know. It's not a game. If you're going to trade stocks, I think you should do so like via futures. And I've talked about this many times. But trading options it's so much more difficult to be profitable than trading futures because of no IRA. Even no IRA. I had what they call a TSP, which is like a 401k when I was in the military, but I don't have that anymore. Well, technically I still have it, but I'm not contributing to it anymore. Personal finance to me is just that. It is very personal. This notion of I don't really know what the hell's going on, but I got a guy for that. That is so like, that's such a like old way of thinking, because here's the reality is your guy doesn't really do too much more than just buy ETFs, which you could yourself do. Right? You could just buy VOO. You could just buy that. You don't need a guy for that. Now, if your company is matching you, you know, X%, then sure, that's fine. But, you know, it's a vehicle towards financial freedom. Like the 401k space is a vehicle towards financial freedom, but it's not the vehicle. And I don't even know that it's a good one, or there's definitely better vehicles in my opinion. Are you earning tax as business or personal? Definitely as business. Yes. I have an LLC. I put as many expenses under my LLC as humanly possible. Phantom glitch today. What happened on Phantom today? Like, here's the deal. Once you understand the game that is being played, in that, when in I think it was 2022, Amazon, the most profitable company in the world, got $100 million tax refund. When you understand that, that's all you need to know about taxes. Crypto is way more interesting in my opinion. It is more interesting. It's more volatile, which you're going to have a lot more 20, 30, 40, 50% crashes, but you're also going to have a lot more 5Xs. Like, it takes the stock market or your 401k or your IRA to do a 5X. It takes like 60 years. I've seen crypto do that in a day. I'm loving some Bitcoin ETFs with the monthly dividends payouts. Where is that dividend coming from? That's cool. That's awesome. You think alt season is coming soon? Yes. It could be as soon as the next couple of weeks, and it could be as late as the next couple of months. But in the near future, alt season will happen, and the biggest catalyst that we're waiting for is for Bitcoin to make another leg higher. Okay, UNDO, it's the same as what I viewed it as the other day. I don't mind this chart. It's kind of like a little bit lower than I would like, but this is still accumulation in my opinion. I would only anticipate it to retrace, which is about 31 cents. Would you recommend crypto for someone starting with 5K amount or futures? Crypto. If they're just starting out, like futures, there's a steep learning curve. And the learning curve is you and your emotions. And just like, if you have only 5K, if I was like, hey, you're just starting out, I would take like 4,500 of that and just like buy crypto. And then maybe if you have like an itch for the trading game, okay, take 500. Because realistically, if you can't do it with 500, you're not going to be able to do it with 5,000. Right? Hey Ski, what tools do you use when swing trading? I look at mostly Wyckoff accumulation. And that's not really a tool. It's more of a measurement of viewing the market. But Wyckoff accumulation, I look for certain setups in the market. And I know that after a certain setup we have the next phase in this setup. Right? So if you just had a scary spring, you could anticipate from the spring that in the near future, you're going to get a SOS, right? So I look for stuff like that. And then I trade off of, for targets, I look for Fibonacci's. But I just look at how people feel too. And I'm a contrarian trader. Those are the main two things I look at. I use you know, RSI, I use Fear and Greed Index, I use a lot of different things. I look at the moon, right? When it's a full moon, that's a good indicator that, hey, it's scary and low. What was the Bitcoin with dividend? 401k is just a scam. You still have to pay taxes when you retire. And yeah, I agree. Like, the only scenario where I think 401k is solid is if your employer is matching you and they're giving you free money. I mean, if it's free money, like, take free money, that's fine. But as far as like me, someone who's self-employed, like, I don't have a 401k. Phantom says having trouble uploading network balances. Will there be an alt season in 2024 and 2025? I think it's going to be one that's probably extended into both. What do you think of Bobby and Lucci? 2 new coins dropped 2 days ago. I don't think about them, but I mean, if it's only 2 days old, there's not going to be enough data for me, but we can look at it if you want. Ace Key, one of the ETFs I'm talking about is BITO. There you go. AJ on YouTube, Raul on TikTok says one of the ETFs is BITO. What's low now in the market now that's a good buy? Solnic is an extreme buy right now. But almost anything, though, honestly, like anything that has Link's chart to me is the setup that you or anyone should be looking for. And this setup is pretty clear. It's like accumulation. You could view it as a cup and handle, right? You could view it as a nice little a little teapot, right? Here's your little teapot. There you go. You could view it like that. You could view it as Wyckoff accumulation. You could view it as a U. However you can see this to know that this is one of the best setups that exists in any chart. And almost 80% of the market is giving us this same exact setup. Like, literally the whole market looks exactly the same. Can you look at Brett? The last BITO monthly dividend payout was 1.77 per share. Huh. And what does the share cost? But was able to get 300k Solnic earlier on the dip. Nice. Thoughts on INJ? I don't mind INJ. Can you look at Brett? Yeah. Yeah, I think just generally everyone is sort of bored and scared. And to me, that's the best possible. Music has 80s network Nintendo feel. Love it. Thanks, bro. That's the best sort of feelings that you want to be looking for in the market. As far as Brett, though, Brett to me is still working on distribution, and these are still my thoughts. It's hanging out around the 2618. I think in the future it can do more legs higher, and that's fine. But just in the micro, like, it went on a crazy run. But the next run we could anticipate it to getting to about 46 cents. But I don't know that that's going to be for a while. Did we win the share contest? I haven't seen anything for a while. I don't think we did. I don't even know if I can say the name of the coin because TikTok will nerf me. But we'll just say Orange Man Train had like 1,000 votes like in the last hour. So I'm not sure how that happened, but it did. But it is what it is. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, let's look at INJ. Yeah, INJ to me, it went on a really nice run into the 1618, had clear distribution, and now came back down. This looks like reaccumulation in my opinion, which is good. Like, this is a good price. It's going to be here for a little while before it starts the next leg higher. The next leg higher would bring you to about $74, as high as $140. Make sure you guys are spam the like button. Let's get this hitting that share as well. Let's get this stream to 30,000 likes by the end of the night. What's up, fam? What's up, fam? He says those votes must have came in at 3 a.m. from Florida and Nevada. You hate to see it. Happens to the best of us. It's all good. We'll see what it does to his coin. I mean, honestly, if it does something cool, we can just buy the service. It's no problem. What was the coin called? I mean, it's still down, so I mean, it's still got some more work to do in my opinion. To the downside, that is. I think it should be next Monday. So if they win, we'll see like next Monday how that does for their product. And if it does well, we'll just buy the product itself. It's no worries. What was you talking about, Brett? I think it's still working on distribution. Can you go back to it? Is it going down? It's a big green candle. Do you think Turbo will go lower again? Yes, I definitely do. Right? You talking about this right here? Web? Yeah. Go back to Brett. Yeah, I think it's still on distribution on the markdown phase. I do think that Brett will have like multiple legs in it, just like, you know, MAGA did. I think that that's definitely going to happen. But just at this moment in time, this is the hot phase. This is the rounded top phase, and it still has more of this action to go and reaccumulate. I think it's going to reaccumulate somewhere between 12 cents as low as 8 cents, and then the next leg would bring you to 36 cents as high as 52 cents, somewhere in that range. Wolf on Solana. Down 14% today. Yeah, this is distribution. Listen, bro, I would take profit. This is clear. Look, when you see a straight line up like this, and then you see a bunch of candles just stuck, and it's a new all-time high, that is a sign, especially right here. Minimum, that's going to get filled out. In all likelihood, we're going to back test all of this at 003. You do with that information what you will. You're looking at 50 to 70% to the downside. That's not the right one. The first one? All right, let's see. The first one up 90% today. 153. Yes. I have an even higher conviction about what I just said. This is at the 3618. That is as high as I see normally things can go. I've seen cases where it goes higher, but this is hot. This is a straight line up. I feel the same way. And again, at some point, it might not be today because this is like earlier in the process. But what you're going to see is one of these numbers, and then you're going to see one of these numbers. And it's going to reaccumulate, sign of strength before the next leg higher. And that could be a while. But this is at the 3618. Maybe this thing gets to 1.8 cents. Maybe. 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 I mean, you're talking another 20% to the upside. Maybe. Maybe. But in all likelihood, again, you don't want to be buying green candles in a straight line up like that. That's not when you want to be buying. The same thing though, 50% to the downside, as high as 70%. Same thing is true. This one just might take a little bit longer than the other one to play out. That's the wrong wolf. Some reason the chart doesn't look the same on Dex Tools as TradingView. Which one? Just the right one? Yeah. I mean, I feel the same way though. Like, it's the same structure. The other one is a little bit more ahead. But yeah, straight line up to the 3618. This is all I ever count on. This is what I count as the maximum parabolic. When you guys ask me for price predictions, this is what I say. If it wants to go absolutely parabolic, this is what I give you, the 3618. So if it wants to go absolutely parabolic, it did. Now it's time to take profit. That's the wolf I'm talking about. The thing is hype and huge on X. Yeah, everything is until it's just like it's easy to be hype on X. It's easy to be hype on X when you're going up in a straight line. Like everyone's high-fiving, right? Everyone's high-fiving. Listen, I would just take your initial out and then it's fine. If it wants to go to, you know, whatever after that, it's fine. How is Solnick doing? Well, people are chasing green candles for other projects, but we're just working on accumulation. We're working on our accumulation within accumulation. We have the same exact chart as Link. People would rather buy the, you know, people would rather buy candles that are going straight up in a straight line than buy a boring chart that actually has extreme ROI potential. What phase of the chart do you see Solnick in? I see it in accumulation, within accumulation, just like Link. So this is accumulation within accumulation. You're talking about it and you can see that some people just sold. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Wolf? People are selling right now? That's the same price. I'm just saying, like, listen, like if you were my friend, like I don't own this. If it wants to go to, you know, 10 billion from here, like great. I don't like, that's awesome. But I'm just saying, like, if I'm talking to my mom right now, I'm talking to my brother, I would tell my brother to take profit here. I would tell my brother that the 3618 is all I ever count on for the maximum parabolic. That's what I would tell my brother. You have to be okay. Like, people have this weird thing where they want to catch the absolute, they want to sell. They want to be that one guy that sells the absolute top. They don't want to leave even 2% on the table. And it's like, that's how you get wrecked. Truthfully, that's how you get wrecked. Like, leave 20%. Who cares? If you did a 20x, what is another 20%? Who cares? Let it be some other guy. It doesn't need to. And you got your 1.25 back. Great. It doesn't need to be you. Last night? What was last night? Want to hear soft hands? I bought 500 at Turbo at 00015-ish and sold because it was doing nothing. Exactly. Like, you guys do whatever you want. I'm just saying, for me, if you were my brother and I was like, hey, bro, this is what I see, this is what I would tell you. I'm speaking to you as if you're my brother. I don't own this. I have nothing to gain or lose if Wolf goes tomorrow to $20 billion or if it goes to zero. Either way, like, I will care equally as much. They wait so long that they become exit liquidity. That's facts. Yeah, actually. Actual factual. All right, my man says, look up Curve. Loaded heavy at 0.3. It's interesting that the price is lower, but the market, well, okay, so it looks like their tokenomics are a little bit off. Not by a lot, not an alarming amount, but it is a little bit off. But I do think that this is a good chart, though. This has a good chart. I do remember Curve last bear market, didn't they have like some serious issues? I don't remember. But this is accumulation. This hasn't even gotten its SOS yet, your sign of strength. So like the first thing that's going to happen is one of these numbers. And then it's going to go on a leg higher. By the way, for whatever reason, people think that this SOS phase is like an hour. It's not. Link has been there for how long has Link been at the SOS phase? Link has been here for 225 days. So I don't think that everything's going to be there at 225 days, but people seem to think that the SOS is like 1 hour. It's definitely not. Okay, so 4.5 billion would be price discovery, which is about a 10x, and then parabolic would be a 22x. So I do think that this is a good value. Since you like XRP, I do too. My largest bag, FCC, appears to finally settle. Oh, Ski. What are you saying? Oh, Ski. What's the fear and greed index right now? 52. Giga capital capitulation wick. When Bitcoin wick founder got liquidated for 90 mil, whales loaded up 50 mil. Oh, damn. The founder got liquidated? Tell us about what coin to buy on Coinbase. On Coinbase, I think... Let me look at my phone real quick. I know that Link is on there. I know that Link is a solid buy. Let me give you 3 coins that are extreme value on Coinbase. Extreme value on Coinbase. Let's see. So Link is extreme value on Coinbase. AMP is extreme value on Coinbase. Quant is extreme value on Coinbase. Rose is extreme value on Coinbase. ADA is extreme value, and VET. All those are extreme value on Coinbase. Link, VET, Rose. There you go. There's 3 solid ones. Hey, Ski, Lambloof on Solana. What's your thoughts? My thoughts are take profit for the love of God. And we just had this discussion. Listen, I'm going to talk to you as though XYO. Yeah, there you go. As though you're my brother. as though you're my brother. This is what I would tell my brother if my brother owned this coin. This is what I would say. Let's pretend you're my brother, okay? I would tell you that this has went on a straight line up, almost 0 red candles, especially when we go on the daily chart, and it's done a 10x. Straight line up, almost 0 red candles, especially on the daily. Literally no red candles. Straight line up. Okay? If you were my brother, I would say this is at the 3618, which when people ask me price prediction, this is what I say. If it wants to go parabolic, this is where I say it's going to go. Check it out. Land Wolf went there. So there you go. You can only get LCX on Coinbase. LCX is good value. I don't think it's extreme value though. GG. My man. How many cycles? But listen, and here's the deal, JE. I don't have any dog in the fight. If it goes to 10 billion tomorrow, or if it goes to 0 tomorrow, I will care equally as much. If it's at the same price tomorrow, I will care equally as much. I don't have a dog in the fight. But that's what I would say if you're my brother. And you don't have to take everything, right? You can just take your initial investment plus a little bit of a profit. That's good. If you can do that, that's good. You don't need to take everything. Then you got a free bag. Yeah, this is the same as the other one though, bro. People love chasing green candles. I don't get it. Let's see. I'll give you upside targets and downside targets. Upside targets, 61% to the upside. Downside targets, 55%. So it has an equal amount upside as it does downside. It's the top end of what? What's up, Sonic fam? What are your thoughts on Ethereum Classic and its chart? I like Ethereum Classic. I like Ethereum Classic. I'll look at the chart. Crypto market top end. Now, bro, it's the full moon, bro. It's the full moon. It's always scariest at the full moon. It's always, typically, not always. Nothing is always. Nothing is never. Nothing is always. Nothing is nothing. Everything is everything. Usually, the full moon is the local bottom. Not always. Usually. It's definitely the most scariest time. At 300K, well, if you got it at 300K, you're sitting on a 5X. You could afford to take your entire initial out and still have a moon bag. That's what I would do. If you were my brother, that's what I would tell you to do. If you were my brother, I would say take your initial out plus a 10% profit, hold, and then just have a moon bag. When is the full moon in? Tomorrow. But with crypto, you enter into a window of energy, and about 5 days plus or minus during the new moon, that's your bull energy. And about 5 days plus or minus into the full moon is your bear energy. Shiba 10x from here. Jasmine 38 cents. So next week bullish. I think we're going to enter into the bullish energy next week. Yeah, that's correct. The 21st, but we're in the full moon energy today. It's not today, it's tomorrow. But we are in it right now. ACH. And I'll show you a chart too, like how crazy, like you might be, if you're like brand new and this is the first time you ever heard me talk, you might be thinking like I'm some sort of witch. I'm not. ACH, I like this chart. Yeah, this is deep accumulation here. retracement here is 6.1 cents. Parabolic is 23 cents. I'm not, and I don't care anything about astrology. Zero. I care about making money, having freedom. That's what I care about. I care about my family, right? But yeah, like, look at this. I'm going to show you guys. Let's go through this. All right, so the blue ones are the new moons, aka the tops, and the white ones are the full moons. As you can see, almost perfectly, local bottom, 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 local bottom. Even on the bull run up, you can see the big pullbacks, new moon top, full moon correction, new moon top, full moon correction, new moon top, full moon correction, new moon top, full moon correction. Look at that. Like, new moon top, big correction, full moon. New moon top, full moon. New moon top, full moon. New moon top. And then it chops here. Full moon bottom. Like, I've only counted 2 thus far that have not been within a shade of the local top or the local bottom. Like, this is when what bank? Silicon Valley went to 0 right here. FTX went to 0 right here on the full moon, on the literal day. Luna Classic went to 0 on the full moon, on the day. The war in Israel kicked off on the full moon, on the day. Again, this isn't like some, like, I'm giving you your horoscope type nonsense. That's not what this is. It's literally a chart, and it shows you. Like, I didn't make this up. Can you look at Billy? Cutest dog ever? Okay. Let's look at Ethereum Classic first. Ski, I feel your pain, bro. Everyone is nervous, and it's starting to feel that you have to calm the group. Even though you explain this many times to people, still don't understand the cycles. You are 100% correct, humble servant. If I've said this once, I've said it 1,000 times. Still, every full moon, people are like, ah! Oh my God, is it over? Are we going to 0? Call your mother! It happens every time. And I promise you again, like, here, I'm stating it now today. My time, it is 6:57, 2024, June the 20th. The next full moon in July, guess what? We're going to have this same conversation again. Might's moon swing trade, you can definitely do that. People definitely make a good bit of money doing that. Now, if you're going to do it on leverage, I would advise you, again, if you're my brother, WebDog, I would say low leverage. And the strategy of this is you would go long on the full moon and you would go short on the new moon. That's the general strategy. But you have to do low leverage because you can easily get wicked. If you're Irish Dano, if you're swing trading, that's the meta. And again, it's not always on the day, but it is just like, it's just be mindful of it. Be mindful that people are greedy during the new moons and they're fearful during the full moons. That's all you need. You just have to, like, it's like a camera, okay? And then I put this filter over this camera and I get a different view. I get a different perspective. That's all that it is. It doesn't change the image. Like, a filter on a camera does not change the image, but it does give you a different perspective. And that's what I would hope that it would be for you. The image that I'm taking, or you're taking, or you're seeing is still the same. But if you put the filter on, you're getting a different perspective of the same image. short full. No, you don't want to short on the full because, again, they're typically the local bottom. It's counterintuitive, right? But, like, let's say, look, and this is what I mean. Like, FTX went to 0 on the full moon. So if you shorted here, what happened? Like, you're screwed, right? If you went long on the top, that's not what you want to do. It's the other way. And the same thing, like the war in Israel kicked off. Silicon Valley went to 0. Luna Classic went to 0. This is at the bottom, not at the top. You don't want to short at the bottom. Do you think Solana ETF is just BS or possible? Yeah, I think it's possible. I don't know about end of year. Because again, like I think that the full on like euphoric bull market is here next year, not this year. I'm mindful of my wife cycles. There you go. Like literally. Me too, by the way. Like no joke. This is what I tell my wife. Like, it's the full moon. It's that time. It's that time again, right? It's the new moon. She's gonna try to trick me. She's gonna tell me that she wants a baby, but that's not real, right? It's just the new moon. She doesn't actually want a baby. Her body wants a baby. Germany selling Bitcoin basically on the day. Irish Dano says, let them cook. Thanks, fam.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
So we are in full or new moon right now. Tomorrow is the full moon, Gary. Tomorrow is the full moon. And typically, not always, like you can go through here and you'll find a couple, but like most of them are, like I would say 98%. It's within a couple of days. There's a couple, like this one right here is an outlier. Like I can find some outliers, right? Nothing is perfect, right? But it is something to be mindful of. But yeah, the full moon is typically the local bottom and the new moon is typically the local top. It's a window, not a date and time, right? It's a window of energy. But tomorrow is the full moon, so we're in the scary energy right now. Right? AKA local bottoms. And so tomorrow when I go live, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah. So tomorrow when I go live, we'll see a little white circle here. How are we doing? I'm doing fantastic. Amber, how are you doing? What happens if the moon gets broken? Does Bitcoin crash? Well, if the moon gets broken, we have bigger problems because that like controls the whole ocean. That controls everything. That controls animals, plants. The world goes to 0. If the moon goes to 0, the world goes to 0. Moving to Mars. We're going to migrate. We need to we're going to build a new moon. We're going to make new moons great again. What if the sky is going to be cloudy? In your opinion, safest 15x play? Obviously not financial advice. Okay, 15 to 20x. I would say like you're looking at more like medium caps. The safest one, probably VET. But I would say it's more like 10 to 20x. Right? 10 to 20x. The safest 50x play is Solnic. 50 to 100x to 1000x is Solnic. Because if you want higher returns, you need a lower market cap. KJ, thank you for the ice cream cones, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Hey, I said VET first. I said VET first. Okay, I'll give you one. I'll give you another one. I'll give you a medium cap, right? Because that's 15 to 20x is about a medium cap play. I would say probably Flux. Hey, Ski, can you look at Jupiter? So there you go. That's my answer. Final answer. If you're asking me for the safest 50x play, it's Solnik. But if you're asking me for the safest 15 to 20x, I would say Flux. What's that meme of the guy who's just like, do you want me to lie to you? Oh, someone asked me Litecoin first. Let me look up Litecoin. No, Ethereum Classic. I forgot about ETC. Where do you buy Flux? You can buy it Mexi, Uphold. You can buy it on BingX, KuCoin. Uphold is probably the biggest one. Let's go to Crypto Bubbles and see if there's any that I'm missing. And I'll look on CoinMarketCap. Okay, it says Binance as well. KuCoin. I don't know if I said KuCoin. You can mine. I mine it. But if you don't have, I'm gonna make a video on mining for you guys. You guys seem interested in that. Here you go. HTX, Mexi, Crypto.com, BingX, Bitmart, Binance. You can get it on Uphold. You can get it on BingX. Yeah, there you go. That's a few. Caesar, thank you for the lightning, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
People asking questions when they want different answers than the truth. I threw some in Landwolf and they listen just by chance, and I'm loading a bag put into Solnik. Caesar, thank you for the music play, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Hey BZ, do you have Knuckles as your profile picture on YouTube? That's awesome. Thanks, that's a 15 to 20x. All right, Ethereum Classic, by the way, same chart as Link. Yeah, okay. So the question, who asked the question about Ethereum Classic? VZN. My man who donated like $20 the other day. Appreciate you. Again. The question, Ethereum Classic. This is the same. Bing bong, that's me. I'm going to tell you guys a story about that. But first, let's turn off this moon. Okay, same chart as Link. I love, this is a really solid play here. This is a mineable coin too, by the way. And again, everything that's not broken, which Ethereum Classic is not broken, is going to retrace. That's a 4x. As high as, yeah, a 4x, okay? Now, if it wants to go to price discovery, you're looking at $274. That's a 10x. I think that you could probably bank on that. Parabolic, you're looking at $584. That would be insane. That's a 23x. Overlaying the moon phases, it's pretty wild, to be honest. Yeah, Frank, like, people, like, I cannot tell you how many times I've said this while live and how many times people dismiss me. But it's like, bro. And then if you just think about it practically, all you need to do is just think about it practically. Just be as dogmatic and practical as possible. And then here is this Ethereum Classic, Irish Dano. Here's the most practical way to think about it. Why are we in crypto in the first place, right? Most people, because they want financial freedom. And then there's people like me, like the truth is money is not real, right? That's the red pill to take. That's the red pill to take to really dive and fully accept crypto as just as viable as any other thing. Once you accept the red pill that the US dollar is not real. I don't even have any. I was going to show you guys one, but I got one in my car. It's not real. It's real because we say it's real. It's real because we agree it's real. Most of the time, people don't, 98% of the time, people do not have physical cash. They use a piece of plastic. They go bing, right? They use a piece of plastic, or they just use their phone. Bing, right? What the hell is that? What happened there when I go to the store and a magic internet money that is not backed by anything is real because we say it's real? Nothing actually happened, but I now have this digital number that is less in my bank account that we agree is there. I can't even remember the last time I went to my bank, right? We agree that it's there. The magic internet money has left this thing on my phone that I can't physically touch or feel, right? And I have the eggs, which I don't buy eggs. I have chickens, whatever. I have the bread. It's bread, right? The point of it is, it's not real. It's real because we say it's real. Okay? So what is money really then? What is money really then? Money is how we measure energy. Okay? Now I'm bringing this back. I'm bringing this all back. I'm bringing it back, bringing it back, bringing it back. I'm bringing it all back to the full moon, to the new moon, right? Money is just how we measure energy. It's a transfer of energy. That's it. Most people get paid by the hour or a salary. So I gave X amount of my life for this product. That's energy. I gave my time, my energy. This is how we measure energy, right? Okay? So, again, the most practical way to think about this, not some woo-woo type stuff, right? People's energy is crazy. Ask any farmer when they do their crops. Guess what? We have a harvest moon, and then the crop in the farmer's almanac, it will tell you to plant your seeds on the new moon. Right in the farmer's almanac, right? Go to any prison, go to any school, go to any nurse. Ask the workers there if they know when the full moon is. I guarantee you they do. It's because people's energy is crazy on a full moon. Because it's a time of letting go. It's a time of harvesting, right? That's why we have a harvest moon. It's a time of letting go, releasing, right? That's all that this is. Money is just how we measure energy. That's it. That's all that it is. So there's the most practical way to think about it. My dad grows coffee. He's looking at moons before doing it. Exactly. There you go, Gary. Here's a red pill for everyone. If the Fed can't print money out of thin air, why do we pay taxes? Yeah, right? Taxation is theft. Andrew, thank you for the $20 donation, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
DJT, Save America on Ethereum, has auto-donated 115 ETH directly to 45 minutes in the past 2 months. This is a direct impact movement. Andrew, are you asking me to look at the DJT chart? Is that what you want me to do? Thank you for the donation and your support, you savage. I appreciate you. Inflation is why. Inflation is because of, to understand inflation, you should read the Bitcoin Standard. Inflation, and how many times too? How many times have I covered the FOMC meetings? Many times, at least 15, right? Over the course of my YouTube career, I've covered at least 15 FOMC meetings, at least 10. Okay, let's be honest, right? And what happens every time? My food bill doubled. But they say inflation is 8.3%. They always cherry pick the most favorable outcomes humanly possible. Do you guys want to know a story? I'm going to tell you guys a story about how I ended up talking to you guys. All of the butterfly moments that led me to this moment, okay? I was in airborne school, which is, if you're not familiar, it's the school in the Army where you jump out of the airplanes. They teach you how to jump out of the airplanes with parachutes, right? Static line. So I was in airborne school. And the instructors there, they were jokingly laughing out loud. Ha 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 ha. They said that because you get an extra $150 to be airborne qualified, right? Or if you're on jump status, you get an extra $150. I can assure you, I dislocated my hip, was knocked unconscious. It's not worth $150. I almost died. It's not worth it. If you guys see pictures of me like in 2020, I was ripped. There's a reason for that. Okay? Anyways. They were like, this is the same pay, the instructors, right, at the schoolhouse. They were like, this is the same pay that we got back in World War I or World War II. Ha 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 ha. I'm like, what? What? That doesn't make any sense. Like, in my dumb, like, 21-year-old brain, I even then comprehended that that did not check out. The math wasn't math then. And that's when I went down the rabbit hole of inflation. Are you an airborne ranger? No. I'm not in the Army anymore. But I was not an airborne ranger either. I was with the 160th. Ski, how did you become a crypto guru? I have a very obsessive personality, and once I get this seed in my brain, it's like an itch that I have to keep scratching until I understand everything about it. It's a blessing and a curse. That's what happened with me, and it started with that little comment. This was the same pay that we got back in World War II. Ha 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 ha. Well, it turns out this is where the story led me. It turns out if I had done the same thing that, if I had served in the Army during my grandpa's generation with the same training, the same time in service, everything the same, except I served back then rather than when I did, I would have been paid less US dollars. However, the purchasing power of those US dollars would have been double. Which is why your grandparents bought their house for a can of green beans. Is because it was actually gold back then. It was actually backed by gold. If war, will you be called back to the Army? No. I've already done my AAR time. Or whatever they call it. Inactive reserves time. I already did all that. I front loaded that. Yes. 45. We're trying to help save crypto in America. Okay, Andrew. Let's look up DJT. I remember it being pretty hot, but we'll look at it. There you go. That's what led me to crypto, guys. That one story when I was a dumb idiot kid, wasn't even old enough to drink yet, didn't know anything about anything, and that seed was forever implanted into my brain, and I couldn't get it out. And I became curious. You called it on Soba super early, but it happened. Yeah, and you know me, Eli. I see things earlier than a late most times. I like story times. Probably Mega Green Candle on DJT. Okay, because we need you to lead the Sonic above the sky. Nah. I already did my IRR time, which is inactive reserves time, and I'm broken. Again, like I dislocated my hip. I'm no good to the army anymore. No hate, brother. Yeah, no, I didn't take it as hate. Okay. So this went parabolic. And then this came all the way back down. This is an accumulation. Actually, not a terrible value. Exponentially better value than it was just a few days ago when we were streaming about this. And we thought it was going to rug. It didn't rug, but it did crash from that stream. 80%. So that, I mean, 80% crash after a parabolic rise. I think that's a good place to start accumulating. And that's what it looks like it's doing. It could be boring for a little while, like one of these numbers, and then get your SOS and then the next parabolic rise. But I like it that it's already crashed 80%. I like that, to be honest. Next leg up will take you to about 8 cents. Did you do flux chart? I did not. But we can look at it. DJT. Oh. My bad. Don't worry, bro. Save America is the one that he wants. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. All right. I see. Okay. I actually don't mind this chart either. Again, I'm looking for boring charts. And I don't know that this has the engine to get it to the next leg higher. But I like that there's just a lot, this huge wall at the bottom of boring. This to me looks like accumulation, which is how you measure a bottom. Your sign of strength, your back test of the prior range. This isn't a bad chart at all. Your next leg will take you to about 1.7 cents. As high as 2.8 cents. That's just the next leg. And again, if this thing has a real engine, if it has real marketing, I don't know. But it could have multiple legs. Is now a good time to buy AERO? Yeah, today I think is a good time to buy, like you could throw a dart at it. I got no AC in my truck and it's hotter than my Aunt Ethanol in a mini skirt on her second bottle of wine. No, this is a family show. Amp looks like it's testing the prior range. Yes, that's correct. Amp has the same chart as, like, okay, so like Link to me is the example that you should be comparing a chart to. Okay, so if you're studying Wyckoff, which is what I do, that's my bread and butter is Wyckoff. When you're studying that, you should be looking or comparing a chart to Link. And if it looks anything similar to Link, that's a good chart. That's accumulation, sign of strength, back test of the prior range. But let's look at Flux, because Flux also has the same chart. Because someone asked me to look at Flux. What usually happens after a spring with Solnic? That means accumulation is nearing the end, and the next leg is upon us. I'm just working 9 to 5 till Solnic allows me to retire. Let's go. Sooner than later. Yeah, I like this chart. This is a clean, even a steeper back. I think Flux is even a better value right now, actually. But the next leg up, yeah, Flux, Amp, they all have the same chart. 5X just to retrace, which everything's going to retrace that's not broken. And then Parabolic is $13, which is about a 21X, as high as $18. Land Wolf. That's the one on Soul. I would take profit on that one, brother. Let's look at WIF. That one is parabolic. I would take profit. At least your initial. At least. Is it dog with hat? Mitch? Can you show how to get the price targets for Solnic with fibs? Yeah. What's the Solnic price prediction? The next leg up is going to take us to about $25 million market cap. But I think we're going to have multiple legs, just like MAGA had over this bull run. So my low end case scenario is $100 million market cap, which is 10 cents. My medium case is $1 billion market cap, which would be $1, and my bull case is $6 billion, which would be $5.89. Have bought any? Was just curious. I'm all in on Solnic. SEI thoughts. What coins did you do good with last bull run? I actually did really good with Ethereum because I was mining Ethereum. Most of my farm was on Ethereum, which, by the way, that's why I'm kind of jaded towards Ethereum, to be honest. And I try to be transparent about that every time that I'm like, we done with the 90s with Ethereum. I'm a little bit jaded towards Ethereum, okay? And I try to tell you guys my biases, right? So I was mining. I did really well with Ethereum last because I was mining it the prior bear market. I mean, I was getting like whole Ethereums a day. So yeah, I did really well with Ethereum. I did really well with Polygon too. The last bull run. What else did I do really well with the last bull run? I think off the top of my head, Polygon might have been one of my bigger wins. But I definitely had a lot of Ethereum. I mean, I did well with Bitcoin too. Like I was buying Bitcoin at like 6-7K, right? Are you going to be giving away any more Solnic? Always. Can you chart Rio? I got you, fam. Watch Ski's latest YouTube video. Thanks, Irish Dano. I like that video. I had fun making it. I think it's my best video so far, and I think my next video is going to be even better because each video I try to, especially right now. Right now, I'm low key. I haven't like announced this to anyone, but I go through these phases, right? I call them cocoon modes, where I really like just burrow in and I don't do anything socially, and I just like I spend my time very presently with my family. And then outside of that, I am locked in on trying to master a new skill. And I do this very frequently. I did this with charts. I did this with mining. I've done this many times in my life. And always on the end of it, I come out, you know, I come out as a beautiful butterfly, right? But, yeah, I'm doing this right now with filmmaking, editing, and storytelling. So I'm excited to really hone in on that process. Okay, dog with hat. There are two scenarios. Scenario number one, this is accumulation, and the next leg is going to take you to $10. That's scenario number one. Scenario number two, this is distribution. And there's a huge gap here that's going to get filled. Short term, that would be more bloody. Exponentially more bloody. Long term, though, that would be more bullish, to be honest. So, kind of a yin yang. The next leg would take you to $11, $12, as high as $16. Can you post the Solnic address in the chat? I got you. It's XTZ9 is the last four, but I will post it. Currently sitting at 1.69 million. Like, what a steal, by the way. What a freaking steal. And by the way, like, tell me that this does not have the same chart as Link. Tell me. Can you show how to draw the next leg up with fib? Yes. So, all you do is, let's just delete this. Sorry. I get distracted and I go on long tangents. Okay. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to the third one down if you're using Dex Tools. This is the same thing for TradingView. You just click this, and you're going to pull from the top to the bottom. And then you click it again to lock it in, and then you would say that the 3618, that's 2.2 cents, that's about 25 million. Technically, we could go to 2.7, but again, I don't count the 4.236. Technically, we could go to 27, and that wouldn't be weird. That's actually, with our supply, that's like 30-ish million. But again, like 25 million, I think is a very reasonable target on the next leg. What up, Ski? Solnic, that is the Solnic address. Do you think with DJT coin that it went up multiple times, multiple millions, is going to come back? 100%. Can you do Flux Chart? I did Flux Chart. I was just on it. Right here it is. It has the same chart as Link. Same one. Accumulation, sign of strength, backtest. You love to see it. Parabolic is $12. $12. My bad, WebDog. What was the one you were asking me about on the Patreon, by the way? I forget. What you wanted me to look at something. Or was it the other web? So would 10 million be the 1618? Yeah. The volume bit different? What are you talking about? Thanks, missed it. Which one was it? Again, like, oh, this is a pretty good value. So, like, just view the markets like this. Just two, like, upside down U's. Like, this is what we're going to see. And then we're going to, like, literally... That's what we're going to see, and then we're going to see it again. Okay, yeah. It looks like this. I messed it up. This tail, forget about this tail, actually. Be something like this. And then you'll just see that again and again and again. That's like an oversimplification of what is going to take place. Again and again and again. Right? An oversimplification of what's going to happen again and again and again. Very oversimplified. But yeah, Jupiter, I like this. And I can see it. The point of what I just made is like I see it pretty clearly. And I think that this is working on accumulation, and I like that it went a little bit deeper, actually. It's going to be a little while here, but the next leg is going to take you to about $5, as high as $7. Yeah, exactly, Webb. You got it. VET 97 cents is the max. Yes. Crypto gems, that's correct. The floor should be near. I've seen it as high as the prior 1618, and I've seen it as low as the prior 0.618. Typically, it's your prior all-time high. Can you chart Rio? Yeah. So where do you put the fib? On crypto from the top. On stocks, not as much. I don't really really do as much stocks though. Been adding Link daily. I think that's a smart move. Mining sounds fun. Can you do a video soon? I will. Yeah. Do you swing trade moon phases a lot, or are you mostly chilling spot? Okay, I don't like swing trade necessarily based off the moon, but I view it as a lens. You can, like, there are people that successfully do that, like specifically only that. But what I do with it is when we're heading into the full moon, I just look for opportunities, right? And I'm aware that like scary narratives tend to show up around here. And when those scary narratives come up and then we have like a flash crash, I just know it's a good buying opportunity. And I normally buy every single week anyways, but then I also buy USDC and USDT every week, and I collect dry powder, and I go more aggressively on the DCAing during that time. That's typically what I do. Hey, Ski just jumped on. What's your forecast for the next few months? I think we're going to range for a little bit. I think that this is about as bloody as we're going to get generally. Maybe like, 5% more, whatever. But just generally. And then we're going to make the next leg higher in the next couple of months. Especially few. I think that Bitcoin will be 85 plus K. And then that's when we're going to start to get our alt season. Yeah, I want to learn about mining, but I haven't got that much GPU power. If you have any like gaming computer, that's a way to learn. And you can just like, a lot of people start by, they'll play games, and then when they're done gaming, they go on a program that you can download just like any other program. It's called NiceHash. And that's the most beginner friendly way to start mining. It's not the most profitable, but it is the most, like, it's literally, I type in a program on my computer. It's like this, it's literally this easy, right? So I go NiceHash, I Google that, I click on their website, I download, get started, and it'll tell me to like, download, it'll tell me to do all this stuff, right? You create an account and then you download their app. And then once their app is available, there's literally a big giant play button like this. And you just click play. And then it's mining. And then it goes to a crypto wallet. And then like when you're done mining and you want to do something with your computer, because you can't like play games and mine, you just click play again and it pauses it. And it's just that easy. Now they probably take a good like 10% off the top. But it's a good beginner, easy way to get in without learning like Linux and all this other stuff. Without learning like, code. Or you could get an ASIC. An ASIC is a pretty easy way as well. That's also another easy way. Oh yeah, I meant to do Rio. Sorry. I get distracted, guys. Yeah, I like Rio's chart. Looks awesome to me. This is the same as everything. And it's back at the 236, touching the 200 moving average. Very good. Very, very good. Even in a bear market, you don't really see stuff get too much deeper than the 200 moving average, which for me is the purple line. I'm looking at Rio right now, brother. Next leg up though, $13.12. Yeah, I'm in cocoon mode right now, guys. And I'm gonna be like really evolving my content over the next 6 months. You know, every single video I hope to make the thumbnail better, the title better, the video better, the pacing better, the music better, the story better. Every single video I want to do that. So it'll be a process. Like, you know, I'm not gonna have masterpiece each time, but I do think that my videos, the last 2 videos are the best videos I've ever made. The last video was the best. The last video was the best video I ever made, and then this video was even better than that video, in my opinion. How about some serious coins? INJ Perp, Farm, Badger, Dale, XRP looking. XRP is an accumulation too. XRP is boring, but it's in accumulation, and it's been holding this same trend line. Has been at play since 2019. This trend line has been at play, but this is accumulation too. And again, like, here we go. It's the same thing. The full moon, new moons, it applies almost every single asset. INJ, I like INJ here. I think it was in distribution, but I like it a lot more now. I think it's reaccumulating. This is good. Like, you see this right here? This big old U, double bottom. That's good. Now, there is a caveat. That there's a pretty big gap here that could get filled on the downside. But I do like that, you know, we spent some time here already. I mean, it is below the 200, so I don't think it's going to go too much lower. We've been here for 85 days. So this looks like reaccumulation to me. ICP 140. ICP has the same chart as everything. Ardrome Finance. Was it you that asked me, is this a good buy? So this was distribution. This is the markdown. It hasn't started accumulation yet. So I don't know how long that this is going to fall. But at some point, we're going to see one of these numbers. When it starts being boring at the same exact price, that's when you want to start buying. That's when you want to start buying. I see a good buy. Yes, I think so. ICP I would put in the extreme value blue chip play. This has this literal same chart as Link. Like, this is the chart right here. This is what I'm looking for. Do you use a trading bot? No, I don't. I don't believe in that. That type of stuff will work until it doesn't. I've never seen it work for anyone long term though. And because it violates the biggest rule with looking at this stuff, and that is that everything is something, but nothing is everything. Meaning there's no one thing that is law, right? The only law in this game is that there is no laws. But when you use a trading bot, it by nature, or by its very definition, it's a robot. It's going to trade as though something is everything. You know what I mean? So I've seen them work for a while, but then long term, they always don't work. DNX price prediction. There's no good charts for DNX. However, I have the same feeling, and I know that it's a good product, the same sort of feeling that I had about ICP. as I do DNX. In fact, I was more excited about DNX than ICP. But I think it could easily get to $50. Price prediction for stacks. What do you envision Solnic to do by the end of July? I think we're going to be working on our next leg up. Easy. 20 plus million, 25 million, 30 million. Okay, this is still my thoughts on stacks. This was clearly distribution, and it's in reaccumulate. Oh my gosh. Get off of that. So yeah, the next leg higher brings you to about $7.30. What does Solnic do? It's a meme coin. But we have a trading bot, or not a trading bot. We have a slot machine bot on Twitter. We have NFTs coming out, and we're developing a casino long term, which next leg for Caspa is 50 cents, which it will force you to use Solnic as payment. By the way, there's already some businesses that accept Solnic for payment already. Maximum supply, unlike other meme coins though, the maximum supply is 949 million, not there you go. Dirty Old Trucker says we accept Solnic for payment with our farm. He's got farm fresh eggs, whole milk. Am I saying that right? Farm fresh whole milk and more. So if you're in his area, he does accept Solnic. We're starting to pay some subcontractors in Solnic. Let me know about that if you are, for real. Give me some raw milk. There you go, raw milk. I should add that to my diet. I've never had raw milk. Do you accept Solnic for your eggs? I don't really sell my eggs like that. But I would. Yeah, I definitely would. I just eat my eggs. Thinking about getting chickens. Chickens are awesome. They're like super easy. They are just as, in my opinion, chickens is just infrastructure. Like you have to do the front work. Like you need to make sure that they have a good coop, that they're safe from predators, because like everything loves chicken. I've had at least 20 chickens just murdered. Like foxes are savages, and not the good kind of savage, not like you guys. Foxes will eat the chicken's head and leave the body. They don't even eat it. They just like to kill it. But once you set everything up though, they're literally as easy as maintaining a cat. Like you just have to feed them and water them, and they literally put themselves to bed, everything. They do. You need to get the eggs, feed them, water them. That's it. It's pretty easy. Don't foxes rise to the top? I need a Solnic vinyl window sticker. Yes, you do. Thoughts on ZRO Layer 0? It's just a narrative and tech because it literally just launched, so there's no chart to analyze. Well, if there's no chart to analyze, I can't really give you my thoughts. I think it's definitely a buzzword. What happens when they stop laying? Do you munch them? Not sure if I could do that. Ha ha ha. Well, there's a couple things you could do. Most of the time, they make a great stew. But you could get like a rooster. Like we had a hen that stopped laying, and then we got a rooster, and it sprung her up, and she started laying again. So that happens. if you want to like hatch eggs, sometimes they become broody, and they'll hatch the eggs if you have a rooster. But if they don't have any use, I mean, their poop is like gold for if you have a garden. It has more nitrogen than cow manure, and people pay more dollars per pound for chicken poop than they do cow poop. It's like gold for your garden. But I mean, most of the time they just become a good stew. Can you check on Land Wolf? Yeah, we checked on Land Wolf a few times during the stream. I would say take profit. And the way that I said this, if you were my brother, I would tell you to take profit. I would tell you to take your initial out plus 10%. That's what I would do. Yes, I was accumulating Matic. It was only because I forget why, but it was something to do with mining. And they like the way that I was mining it, they offered me to wrap it in Matic instead of Ethereum. So something about that, and I was just like experimenting with like half my rig. And so instead of, I was technically mining Ethereum, but they were giving me Matic. They were exchanging it and giving me Matic, but it was free. They just wanted, I don't know, they wanted to like onboard people onto Matic. So I was doing that for a while in the last. Do you hold BOFA? I do. AVAX versus Sol. I think AVAX is a better value than Solana right now. Have you checked out Hawk Tuah? Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tuah. Do you have a happy garden? Be careful and don't hold too long. Yeah, it was something to do with the way that I was mining it. They were just giving me Matic. I was mining Ethereum, but they were automatically converting it to Matic. And then I was on the Polygon network, which is how I learned how to like, you know, wrap and unwrap stuff pretty cheaply. Yeah, I want to say Matic was one of my bigger, that was one of my first big wins, like really big wins, like life-changing wins. Is Bitten Sword mineable? I don't know. What was it called? Bitten? I don't think so. Here's all the mineable coins that What2Mine is tracking. Dynex, Ergo, Flux. Those are all coins that I have and I mine. Kaspa, I kind of missed the boat on Kaspa. I was aware about Kaspa when it was like literally the first week that Kaspa came out. I was aware of Kaspa. I was aware of Carlson for a long time as well. I actually like made a joke and I made a whole video about Carlson the first day that it came out, when their white paper was so ass that it was almost comical. What is this? Let's go to their website. But now it looks good. Now their website looks good. This is just a merger of Caspa, if you didn't know. Or like a fork of Caspa. What about Chia? Chia is mineable, but it's not GPU mineable. It's only mineable via like your oh my god, I can't even think what it's called. Hard drives. It's only mineable. Can you do XEN? Thank you. I got you. MicroStrategy buying the dip. Are they? That's hilarious that like I literally made a video like I found the next coin, or like how to find the next mineable coin, or the video was called how to find the next Caspa, and then I showed Carlson, and it was literally like it was the most ass white paper I've ever seen, but I could see that miners were all going to Carlson, and now it's like it's done pretty well. I wonder, is it even on Carlson? Is it even on? Is it even on CoinMarketCap? I know that it's done very well, but it was like literally day one when I learned about it though. So I had no like thoughts that this was going to do awesome or anything like that. They don't even have a market cap for it. Oh, this is still tiny. Oh yeah, this is yeah, they don't have nothing for this thing. But it looks very bad. Good. 750 million. Wow. All right, let's look up XCN. Whoops. For my man. And then we'll look up High Street. Yeah, I don't mind XCN's chart. I think it has the same chart as everything else. Retracement is 1.3 cents. And again, everything that's not broken is going to do that. And that's a 6x. So like, I think you could bank on that. But if it wants to go parabolic, you're looking at a 17x, 2.85 cents. And I wouldn't anticipate it to go too much higher than that. High Street. Thanks for the digital candy. Or thanks for the heart, digital candy, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Everything that's not broke will go where? To the 618 or the like the 0.5 702, somewhere in there. What I call the retracement. And what I mean by broke, everything that's not broke is like Luna Classic was broken, right? So everything that doesn't break to that magnitude will go to a minimum of the retracement. High Street brutal pullback the last few days. I agree. This is a pretty, I mean, this is like in the depths of the accumulation. I definitely don't anticipate it to go too much lower. I mean, theoretically, I mean, it could definitely triple bottom in here. I mean, I guess that's another 50%. What happened? That's not a, what happened here? Even XRP, that's right. XRP last cycle. People like to shit on XRP, but like XRP went to, let me finish this before I get distracted here. $13. XRP last bull run, it went to the retracement. It went to the 618. Everything that's not broken is going to go to the 618. Why is this moved? See, parabolic rise, reaccumulation, retrace, somewhere between the 0.5 and the 702. Everything that's not broken is going to do this. High Street pulled a TRB. Thank you, my man. No problem. You got some XRP? You know you do. I have some XRP. I don't hate XRP. I'm not a part of the XRP cult. Right? I'm not a part of that army or like this 589 stuff or $10,000. I'm not a part of none of that. I think it'll go somewhere between $5 and $14. December was wild for Teller. Do meme coins pump with alt season or after? Yeah, I would say with it for sure. God bless you. Took profits on Wolf. 20 EMA crossed the 50 and coming down. Is it? I'll be honest, like, my weakness is, like, as a technical analyst, is seeing stuff too early sometimes. Yeah, it's down like a good 30 million. So this could play out, like, it could be chopping here for a while. But yeah, stuff doesn't typically, like, very rarely does it go too much higher than the 3618. It doesn't happen that much. It doesn't sound like a weakness. It is a weakness because I'll see stuff like months in advance and people are like, what the hell, Ski? You said this. It hasn't happened yet. And then like 2 months later, they'll be like, oh yeah, he said that. Wolf is so concentrated. Yeah, that's not good. If that's the case, let me see. Not really. 1%. XRP $5. That just a retracement? No, it's not. The retracement would be $1.11. I left the moon bag. There you go. You can't go off holder account. Team just spreads it out the wallets. Even Rex admitted team holds 80%. Whoa. Ha! Yeah. If that's true, that's not good. XRP to $5.89. Yeah, if that's true, that's not good. Land Wolf on AVAX, please. Again, like, all the wolves that I'm seeing are very overheated. Is yours red? Which coins are top ones you like the most? Solnic. And then I'll give you different value. I'll give you like micro cap, medium cap, and blue chip. My favorite micro caps are Solnic, Hehe, and then you could say like either MVP or Bobby or, you know, even Labs. Those would be micro caps. Obviously, Solnic is my highest overall conviction play, especially at this value right here where it's at right now. Medium cap, Flux, Ergo, Chia. Blue chip, Link, VET, Rose. 80% is a lot. Have you covered Turbo today? I have, but we can look at it again. 589. I don't know about that. I don't know that that's mathematically possible. What's up, Ski? What's up, fam? Yeah, they do. They pump the bag, keep it stable. 80% is a lot. Yeah, where did you see that? What's your thoughts? Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Sol, Link, VT. Top 5 left standing in 10 years. Yeah, I think all of those will be here, or they should be here 10 years from now. The only one, and again, I'm jaded, right? The only one that has a potential to not be here, I think, would be Ethereum. because I don't think that the technology is that good compared to other technologies. Flux or VET if you had to choose one? Well, I'm biased towards Flux. I'd pick Flux. Also, I think that Flux is doing like more stuff. Bull Party, thanks for the $1.99 donation, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Can you chart Playa 3 ULL real quick? Thanks. Yeah, I got you. Let me finish this one because I got distracted. This is now an accumulation to me. This is the only wolf that I'm seeing that looks like it has decent value. Next leg will bring you to about 0013, which is about a 11x from here. What's your flux target? $13 as high as $17. Yeah, the gas prices are crazy. It's not that fast. There's stuff that's faster. There's stuff that's cheaper. What can you do on Ethereum that you can't do on XRP, that you can't do on HBAR, that you can't do on Solana? Like, what can you do on Ethereum that you can't do on any of those? I'll wait. All right, let's look up this one though. Should I, Bull Party, should I look on, I'm going to check on TradingView real quick. 3-0. Okay, we found it. BlackRock is the new Fed. Rule number 1 is don't fight the Fed. BlackRock is pushing ETH. I agree. No, I think it's going to do well this bull market. Out of the night. I agree. I think it's going to do well this bull market. But the context of the question is, I forget who gave me the list. Who gave me the list? Webb gave me a list of coins that he asked me if I thought would be here 10 years, and I said yes. I agreed that they would all be here in 10 years. Ethereum was on that list. I agreed that it would be here 10 years. And then I said, well, the only one that's even possible, and I'll probably, if I was playing devil's advocate, right? I do think it will be here 10 years from now. But if I was playing devil's advocate, it was Ethereum. So that was the context of that. I do think it is here 10 years from now. But that's a good rule of thumb. Don't fight BlackRock. What about the layers 2 keeping the ETH alive? Yeah, I just think that, and again, I'm biased. I'm jaded against Ethereum. I just don't think it has great technology, but I do think that it is a real player, though. And I'm not saying it's going to go to 0 or anything like that. How about Omni Network? My bad, bro. Oh, Hashi. I thought you have the same color profile picture as Bull Party. Let me do this one. Thank you for the $5 donation. Omni Network. I got you, you savage.
But the cream
okay.
will rise to the top, oh yeah.
This went absolutely parabolic, did distribution. This is clearly the markdown phase, or what we call a bear market, right? This looks like the beginning of accumulation, especially because it's on top of the prior, like, huge level of support here. So I would anticipate some of this action before, you know, starting the process over again, which you got right in here. Look, the same, like, right? That's the same thing. But the next leg, and again, everything that's not dead is going to retrace. So the retracement is a 4x from here. That's about 0.007. Price discovery is 1.6 cents. That's a 10x from here. Parabolic is 23x, which is a 3.5 cents. I'm coming around on ETH because of BlackRock. Yeah, like I don't wish it's failure or demise or anything like that. And I do, like, if you gave me a percentage of is it here thriving in 10 years, I would say like 98% chance that yes, it's in 10 years it's thriving. But I was just making the case against it as a devil's advocate of like, here's why it wouldn't. But I don't think that that's likely or even probable. The most likely outcome is that it will be here thriving in 10 years from now. All right, let's look up Omni. Thanks for the support and the $5 donation. All right, not a ton of data for this one, brother. Let me try to find a different OMNI. Newer token. Okay, I see. All right, let me try on Dex Tools. I don't think any of those are it. All right, this seems to be the most data that we have. This looks like the beginning of accumulation, though, I will say. So we just... There you go. Something like that. Low supply, great utility. The chart, does, like, it's just new. So it's hard to give me, like, a really fair prediction. Yeah. So I think it could I think it can have multiple legs. But the next leg would bring you to about a 10x, about 139. XRP will overtake ETH. I think that that's possible. Thoughts on FET, ASI? I missed the one entry and I'm fuming. I think that the merger is bullish in the long term. I came out of the gym earlier and the moon was shining bright. There you go. I hit chest today and I hit a pretty intense kettlebell workout. It was a good thing that I'm doing OMADs because I definitely would have been seeing my breakfast. If not. When do you think memes on AVAX network will pump? When AVAX pumps. And AVAX is going to pump the next leg higher. What was your one meal? I had some chicken. I had some beef. I had 2 eggs, 2 pieces of bacon, and a little bit of guac. Ski, do you think those AI coins will actually have any deals with the likes of Nvidia? Not any of the mainstream ones. I think potentially, okay, like, you want to know the deal? If there is one that's actually going to have a deal with Flux, or I gave you the answer. If there's actually one that's going to have a deal with Nvidia, it's going to be a mineable one, such as Flux, such as DNX. Because here's the deal, the last bull run, you had the low hash rate cards. I don't know why Nvidia did this, because they ended up cracking the code anyway and it didn't matter. But Nvidia was directly selling to miners at like a big level. So they already have a relationship with crypto miners on a big scale, on a large scale. So I don't think any of the like API 3 or whatever the popular AI coins are would have a deal with Nvidia, but I think if any coin is going to make a deal with Nvidia, it's going to be a coin that they already have past relationships with, and that could be Flux slash DNX. How many cycles before Solnic hits $1? That would be about 3 cycles from here, or 3 legs, but it could all be this cycle, this bull cycle. 3 legs though. Thoughts on AETHIR? I don't have any thoughts on it, but I can look at the chart. Yeah, there's no data for this one, fam. Yeah, I don't. I can't give you any data. If Wolf Team own 80%, why they admit that? I find that hard to believe. That's fine. Here's what I know for a fact: is it's at the 3618. I'm not stating that that's true or false. I don't know, right? I don't know. I'm just reading comments. But what I know for a fact about Wolf is it's at the 3618 and it's extremely overheated. And if you were my brother, I would tell you to take profit. I would tell you to at least take your initial investment plus a little bit profit and save a moon bag. That's what I would tell you to do if you were my brother. That's what I know for a fact, is it's extremely overheated. That's what I know. I know that it's at the 3618, and I count on 0 coins going above the 3618. None. It happens. They do it, but not very much. Not a very high percentage at all, like less than 1%. And even so, you're talking like the 4236 and maybe a little bit higher, like on a wick. But generally, like, that's the end of the ride. That's the end of the ride. Thanks for stopping by. So long, folks. What is the 3618? That is the Fibonacci. That's generally the maximum parabolic target. They also own Brett. Well, I also feel the same way about Brett. Brett is also overheated. So, like, see how it's just a straight line up? Like, here's the deal. When you see that, the market is all about balance, right? So when you see a straight line up like that, guess what? You're going to see the opposite. For every yin, there's a yang, right? So the opposite of this straight line up is you're going to see distribution, and then you're going to see a falling knife. That's what you're going to see. I don't know if it's going to be today, tomorrow, or next week, but at some point in the very near future, that's what's going to happen. If you were my brother, I would tell you to take profits. What's the ticker for that one? Crypto Finance. What's the 3618 on your beloved Solnic? 25 million. $25 million market cap. That's why I've been saying that's where we're going to go on the next leg. Zoom in. We want to see your face. Here you go. Take a picture. There you go. Jesus. We looking good. Any trader will tell you. Don't wait till after it accumulates, neither. Don't wait till after it came back to like 0.006 cents and then goes on the next leg. I want you to make a meme about me when it goes to 3 cents with no pullbacks. Do that. Then I have the right to be a meme. Now you have my permission to cry. No, You can't like it does one of these numbers, reaccumulates, and then goes on the next leg, and then make me meme. Because I'm telling you that that's what it's gonna do. Like I'm telling you, it's going to crash. When we started the live, it was up here, so it's already crashed 16% since I've been live. All right, if that happened in the stock market, people are losing their jobs. Okay, so but it's going to crash another 50 to 70%. Then it will reaccumulate, and then it will start the next leg. And then on the next leg, it will probably get to about 3 to 4 cents. But right now, no. Why does every chart copy a link? Because there's only a couple apex predators in this market. On my mama. On my hood. What time frame do you usually measure a fib on? I like the daily, but with stuff like this, I don't really like going in any closer than the 3 hour. But that's like, this is how I measure the market. Some people specialize in what's going to happen over the next like 5 hours, and they'll do the 5-minute chart. But I'm exponentially better on the macro than I am on the micro. So I hang out on the daily, the weekly, maybe the 4 hour. Like that's about as close as I zoom in is about the 4 hour. It feels more personal. Okay. CTX. What are you saying, zoom in? Are you saying to make me a meme? Yeah, if I'm dead wrong, like, please make me a meme. Okay, I like this chart. This chart looks good. Accumulation, sign of strength, backtest the prior range. Looks pretty good. Next leg will take you to about a 13x, $43. It's better to have a strong coin. Wait, who's asking me about? It's down. I took profit at 0.017 and it's down to 0.014. Yeah, I think you got the load Solnic now. I think you got the top, fam. I look fly. On my mama, on my hood. Solnic will go to $5.89. Let him cook. So if I'm doing it correct, does it mean that 3618 on AMP is 7 cents? That's about right. What's up, Ski and everyone? Late to the party. Work. Just thumbs down. No worries, fam. All my replays are available on YouTube for free. If you put the wolf chart and make it skinny as possible, it looks like. Can you please use a fib on storage? On meme coins, you look at the minute or the second. I don't zoom in too much more, like never really more than the 4 hour. And if I have to, I'll look at like the 2 hour. What do you think it drops to? Are you talking about wolf? Probably like minimum 007, like minimum. CTX $43. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. All right, what was the coin storage? Yeah, storage has the same chart as Link. This chart looks really good. Like structure, this is A1. I like this. Retracement is $2.01. Parabolic is $8 as high as $10.80. What? 007 is that for the market cap? No, that's for the price. 0.007, so less than a penny. Market cap, that would be, I mean, that's down 50%, so you're looking at 70 million-ish. Right? Yeah. Like 70 million, 80 million. Oh my god. Eli said, I've been longing and shorting AGIX all day long while at work. Turned $20 into 400. Let's go. Now take that 400 and ape it into Solnic and turn that 400 into another 50x. So 50x on $400. Was that like 25 grand? 20 grand? You turned your $20 into 20 grand. Yeah, there you go. That would be nice. That would be a story. And this, kids, is How I Met Your Mother. Let's take Sonic to 0.5 by July. Hawk Tua. Don't miss MPS on ETH, bro. NPC. Every day, people love chasing green candles. I don't know how I feel about this chart, man. Let me see. This already went to the 2618. The fact that it went all the way back down, though, is strange. I don't know that there's value in this. If you could get this back at, like, I mean, I don't want to say no value. That's not what I mean. If you could get this at 1.6 cents, somewhere around there, I think that that's a good value. But from here, I don't know that there's a great value play, because it only has another 2x in it. Like, Bitcoin's going to do that. But if you could get it down here, I mean, now you're talking, I mean, still, it's not really, it's like more like a 4x. I don't know. I think that this might have some more work to do. How accurate is Fibonacci? Fibonacci is everything. The whole entire realm is coded with Fibonacci. Your thumb, hurricanes, the Mona Lisa, everything has Fibonacci. It's extremely accurate. Extremely accurate. But I can show you in the charts, because that's what you're asking. But I'm telling you that the code of this realm is Fibonacci. Seashells, like everything. Waves, everything is Fibonacci. The universe, everything. The ocean, sunflower seeds, your garden, your ear, everything is Fibonacci. Everything. There's nothing that exists that does not obey accurately the Fibonacci. Even a hurricane, like nothing. The Mona Lisa, literally everything. Everything. But Bitcoin specifically, and crypto, like, they have very much honored its multiple bull markets, multiple bear markets. If he doesn't hawk Tua, I don't want talk Tua. Hawk Tua on Soul did a 20x yesterday. Oh my god, what a silly. All right, so here's just like one of 1,000 examples that I could give you. But if you pull a Fibonacci from the top to the bottom on Bitcoin, and this one is not from the top to the bottom. I don't know why I even have two at all. But what you'll see is perfectly to the 3618. This is exactly where Bitcoin went. And this is not the first time that this has happened. This was the buying climax. This was the up thrust. But I could do this literally all day. We could show you examples of this happening over and over and over and over again. Think about the meme idea, not the chart. Well, I mean, I would have to go against everything that has ever made me successful in investing ever to do that. I'm not saying it won't be a top 5 meme. I'm just saying in this moment, it's overheated. That's all I'm saying. I hope it does become a top 5 meme. Abandon everything that you've ever known about everything. That's the only way that this is going to make sense to you. Sorry, brother. Can't do it. Meme potential. That's fine. Like, I hope it does become a top 5, and I'm not saying that it can't. I'm just saying in this moment in time, it's a little bit overheated. That's all I'm saying. We looked up crypto finance, fam. All right, guys. We've been on for 2.5 hours. That's a long time. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter. Join the Telegram. If you haven't seen my last video, go check it out. I put a lot of time into it, and I think it's my best video yet. Okay? I will never message you first. Never. Not one time, ever. If somebody does, as your boy Ski, it's not me. They're trying to scam you. To the Solnic Army, DCA, Diamond Hand. Get your stickers. Print them off. All you need is a little bit of printer paper. And there you go. You have 1,000 of these for $13. And for $13, 1,000 people, maybe 10,000 people, maybe more, could see the Solnic Army. So DCA, Diamond Hand, everybody wants the 1,000x gains, but nobody wants to do the 1,000x work. Put in the work. Diamond Hand, DCA. We are the rocket. We are the fuel. We are the engineers. This is your captain speaking. Next stop, Jupiter. Let's go.
Damn, hustling, 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 hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy
hustling,
Ski.
hustling, 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 hustling. Every